Thank you very much for allowing me to do this. I'm Loyd Neal. I'm currently the county judge in Nueces County. I'm running for re-election. Your first question had to do with next year's budget. This year's budget was not an easy budget. However, we have taken steps as a Commissioner's Court to do things that I think are in the best interests of the county. We have, for the third year in a row, kept the county tax rate flat. We reduced expenses by $1.4 million. We saved money by refinancing previous debt and saving $1.9 million. We reduced the cost of jail health care, and we instituted energy cost savings here in the county. But looking forward, as we prepare for next year's budget, I can promise you that the commissioners and I will be looking very carefully at every item. Unlike city government and other governments, county government can turn on one commissioner's court meeting. We're prepared to do those things that are necessary to hold our budget in line. Will I promise you I'll never raise taxes? No, I won't. And why won't I? Because there are too many unknowns in state and federal government coming down over the next year. We have a legislative session. We have a new Congress. We expect to receive from the Texas legislature unfunded mandates like continuing the cost of indigent defense care, increased cost in health care. We have no idea what the Obamacare is going to do to us in the future. So what I will promise you, that the majority of the Commissioners Court and I will continue to work to keep the tax rate as low as possible. We have no intention to raise the tax rate. What are some savings that could be made? We can reduce the number of temporary employees. We can cut back on travel. We can freeze positions if we have to. We can eliminate positions if we feel they're unnecessary. We can eliminate capital expenditures. We can reduce the travel costs, as I said. We can consolidate functions of government. But more importantly, we're spending millions of dollars to introduce technology into the courthouse and into county government. You're going to continue to see us have productivity gains from this over the next 1 or 2 years. Let me speak a minute about the hospital district. The hospital district is a part of county government as well. The Commissioners Court and I set the rates for the hospital district, the tax rates. This year, because of previous decisions made before I came into office, we are having to look at the cost of running that hospital district into the future. We raised the tax rate about 70 basis points. Was that enough? Not enough to turn the tide, but at least it's driven by the ad valorem tax rate. Unlike the city, we don't get sales tax and hotel motel tax and all those nice things. We have ad valorem tax and some grant funds. Our budget last year for the county was about $115 million that we approved. The hospital district budget was about $31 million. That's how much money we had. Those two tax rates stayed relatively flat. We're opening up a new pod for the jail. Hopefully we'll have it open in November. That will allow us to move 48 prisoners out of the downtown jail into the jail at McKenzie Annex. That frees up space to bring federal prisoners back into our jail. So working with the sheriff, the federal authorities, and with the court, by opening up this new pod, that's another source of revenue that we can bring to the county. Your second question had to do with a proposed county bailout in the Nueces River residents in the flood situation. A very short answer to that: we did not qualify for the program. This was not a bailout program. It was a program that Commissioner Pussley wanted to look at, working with the city of Corpus Christi and the Coastal Bend conservation people about how to clean land that consistently floods. In order to have been eligible, we had to have a certain number of households. They had to have had flood insurance. We did not have the eligible households in that area, so we have basically told the federal government we're not going to participate in this program. While it is a federal program and they're federal monies, there are some good things from that. If we could have cleaned up some property, kept that trash and all from going into the Nueces River watershed for the city, there was some plus. We don't want to be landowners. I'm not going to be a landowner, and Commissioner Pussley and I agree that this, and Daniel Hale, our emergency management coordinator for the county, agree that the program now just needs to be put back on the shelf. We looked at it. We owed the citizens a look at it. We looked at it. We don't qualify, and the program will not be going in force here in Nueces County. Thank you. We're looking at technology updates that will allow us to do things less expensively with fewer people. We're going to do this. I promise you, as we move forward, that we will look at this. We will not act foolishly. We will have a consistent tax policy that you and entrepreneurs and anyone else can look at and say, if I want to invest in Nueces County, here's what it's going to look like, and here's the investment I can make. Create jobs, bring economic activity here based on a solid, sound, consistent tax policy.